All right, let's dive into one of the most mind-bending ideas in all of science and fiction, time travel. It's a concept that promises, the ultimate power, but it comes with a absolutely terrifying cost. So let's get into why.
I mean, it's the ultimate what if, right? The power to see history with your own eyes, to fix your biggest mistakes, maybe even sneak a peek at the future. But hold on. Before you go drawing up blueprints for your own time machine, you have to deal with one single, massive problem. And that problem? It's the paradox. You see, the second you step into the past, you risk creating a logical contradiction so deep it could literally unravel reality itself. And no, this isn't just stuff from sci-fi movies. These are serious, brain-melting challenges in theoretical physics. So what is a temporal paradox, really? Well, think of it this way. If the timeline is one long straight thread, a paradox is what happens when you go back and tie that thread into a knot that's impossible to untangle. An action you take creates a consequence that makes your original action, well, impossible. Let's look at the two most famous examples. On one side, you've got the classic grandfather paradox. This one's all about erasure. You do something in the past that prevents your own existence. Then, on the other side, there's the bootstrap paradox. This one is weirder. It's about creation without a creator. Something, an object, an idea, is just stuck in an endless loop with no real beginning. It just exists. Okay, this is where your brain starts to melt a little. Just follow me on this. You go back in time. You stop your grandparents from ever meeting. That means one of your parents is never born. And if they're not born, well, you are never born. But if you were never born, you couldn't have gone back in time in the first place, right? Which means your grandparents do meet, you are born, and the whole crazy loop starts all over again. It's a perfect, inescapable contradiction. And that quote? Man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's like the universe has its own immune system. So if these paradoxes are so fundamental, does that mean time travel is just impossible? Game over? Well, maybe not. Some physicists have some pretty wild ideas. And this is where things get really, really cool. Theoretical physics actually has a few potential get-out-of-jail-free cards, ways the universe might just let time travel happen without imploding. Let's check out the first idea. So the first possible solution is probably the simplest, and let's be honest, the most frustrating one: a fixed timeline. In this model, the past is basically set in concrete. You can't change it. Any attempt you make to alter history was, ironically, always part of history. You can't stop your grandparents from meeting because your trip to the past is the reason they met in the first place. You can't change what happened because you already happened. Okay, but what if the timeline isn't set in stone? The many worlds interpretation is a theory that suggests something much, much wilder. The idea is that every time a choice is made, the universe splits. So when you go back in time, you're not actually changing your past. Nope. You're creating a whole new branch of reality, a brand new timeline, a parallel universe. And here's the kicker. You wouldn't be erasing yourself. Your timeline, the one you came from, is perfectly safe. But you just created a new, alternate reality where your grandparents never met, and a version of you will never be born. The paradox is solved, sure, but think about the moral weight of that. It's huge. And that brings us way beyond just physics, right? Because if we actually figured this out, if time travel was real and something people could do, what would that even look like for us? For society, the fallout would be unimaginable. The consequences would be absolutely staggering. Just think about it. History would become a weapon. Countries could go back and win wars they lost, literally erasing their enemies from existence. The stock market? It would be chaos. The whole idea of truth would just evaporate. And what about you? How could you even be sure of your own memories if the past that made you could be changed at any moment? And that's the bottom line, isn't it? This is the ultimate double-edged sword. We could use it to witness the wonders of history, to learn the secrets of the universe, or we could accidentally, with one tiny mistake, erase everything and everyone we've ever known. The power to discover is also the power to destroy. So we've looked at the mind-bending paradoxes, the wild physics, the potentially world-ending consequences, and now this massive cosmic question really comes down to a personal one. Forget humanity, forget society for just a second. Let's make this about you. If that machine was sitting in front of you and you knew all the risks, but you also knew it could fix your deepest regret or let you see a loved one last time, would you take that chance? Would you turn the key? And that, right there, is the temporal conundrum.